It took a Clinton to clean up after the first Bush, and I think it may take another one to clean up after the second Bush.
The next president is going to face a lot of problems on that first day, January 20th, 2009. We have a war to end in Iraq. We've got a war to resolve in Afghanistan. We've got 47 million uninsured Americans. We have an economy that is faltering, and I don't know what the economists are going to say, but I think it's slipping into a recession. And we've got to take action now. We've got an energy crisis with $100 a barrel oil that is contributing to the economic challenges we face. And then we've got to be absolutely committed to repairing the damage that has been done by the Bush administration around the world and here at home. So there's a lot to be done. And I have proposed comprehensive plans to deal with health care for everyone, an energy agenda that will be energy efficient, create clean, renewable energy, get us off of our dependence on foreign oil. We cannot continue with that kind of backwards economic approach. And there's so much more to be done. And I've laid out all of these plans in the campaign. I think you need to realize that withdrawing troops is dangerous. You don't just wake up one morning and say, okay, load everybody up, take them out. You have to guard the exit routes, which means you have to have troops that are basically protecting the convoys. You have to take out the equipment. You can't leave that. We don't want that to fall into the wrong hands. I also believe you've got a plan for what we're going to do with our civilians. We have over 100,000 American citizens who are not in the military. They work for the embassy, they work for businesses, they work for nonprofit agencies that are there. And I have injected into this debate about withdrawal something I feel very strongly about. We have to figure out what we're going to do with the Iraqis who helped us. A lot of Iraqis put their lives on the line to serve as translators and drivers. You know, I went to Fallujah in 2005, shortly after the Marines had taken it back in a very bloody house-to-house battle. And I know a young Marine captain who told me that he doesn't believe he and his men would have survived in Fallujah had it not been for their Iraqi translator. And then he said, but you know, now everybody knows he was a Marine translator and he and his family are targeted. So we need to identify people like that. I think I can begin withdrawing our troops within 60 days. I see no reason that I can't. And I believe that based on my assessment of the military situation, I was the first person to say earlier this year that we can take safely out 1 to 2 brigades a month. And at the same time, though, we've got to send a very clear message to the Iraqi government that the blank check they've been given by the Bush administration is no longer valid, that they have to begin finally to take those decisions that have been waiting, which are only theirs to make. And we have to immediately embark on intensive diplomatic negotiations with the countries in the region to figure out how we can try to stabilize Iraq as we withdraw. Now, people ask me all the time, you know, well, what happens if the situation really deteriorates? And I think that's a fair question. But I don't believe, based on a lot of careful study of this, I don't believe that in the absence of Iraqi government action, it matters whether we stay a week, a month, a year, or 10 years. In fact, I believe that our beginning to withdraw will focus the attention of the Iraqis unlike anything else we can say or do. And it is only then that they will begin to do what they must do to figure out how to deal with the militias and the allocation of oil. So I will begin within 60 days, and we will have our troops out as quickly as we possibly